Hello, Papa T here from Didacity. Grandpa plays computer games. I just want to give you an update from my last post when I began my gaming journey. Just to remember, I started actually about 35 years ago. I was there from the beginning of computers and computer games. However, I only watched. I proceeded to have 8 children. I introduced them to computer games, and boy, they've been playing them ever since. After 35 years, it's finally come down to the fact that I want to play games before I die. And so, in my last post, I announced that I was going to start playing all by myself. Nobody helping, just pick a game and go and see what happens. And this is my report. Lucky for me, my very first pick was Air, A-E-R. Turns out it was a perfect game for a beginner like me. It's a game where you couldn't die, so I didn't have a lot of frustration there. In that game, I learned many things as part of my gaming journey. Well, the main thing I learned was problem solving. It was a game where you had to solve puzzles in order to progress in the game. And as you solve these puzzles, you get more of the storyline. You get clues of where to go next. I really didn't have that much trouble. I surprised myself and was quite pleased. Now, there were a couple of puzzles that weren't really that hard, and yet I spent a good 30-40 minutes on them before I figured out that there were hints there all along of which bells to jump on, which order to go, and that was something I learned. And once I learned that, then I couldn't be stopped. And I had a great time in Air. Beautiful game, beautiful visuals. The feeling of flight was wonderful. It was a good first game experience for me. My next gaming experience was Costume Quest. One of my gaming sons recommended it to me. He knows how much I love Halloween, and it's fun, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. What gaming skills I gained from playing this game? For the first time, I had a controller in my hand. You know, I've been around controllers all my life, but I've rarely picked one up and tried to use it a couple of times in Mario and things, but this is the first time on my own, and it took me a while. I've made a couple of videos on it. I'll put some links down below. I learned how to push the correct buttons, use the joysticks, and by the end, I was good. At least, I felt good, let's put it that way. And felt comfortable, felt confident, and I was really enjoying myself. I also learned in that game about what I call slap fights. You know, I'll slap you hard, then you slap me hard, and we'll see who gives up first. Basically, this is turn-based battle, right? Where my team goes first and picks the right tools and attacks, and then pick the right defensive tools and wait for the other team to attack, and back and forth like that. I remember teasing my children about that years ago when I watched them play, because I thought, you know, live action deathmatch was the only way to go. I've learned now that this turn-based play is really quite fun, and I'm looking forward to more of it. I then changed gears and moved on to Sunless Sea. Whoa, a very serious game, lots of mood, lots of atmosphere, and a little bit beyond me. Not my finger skills, just the game itself. I never have figured out really how to make progress in it. Although there was so much I was enjoying. It was very complex. You had to keep track of many critical resources. There's a storyline that for me was very vague, and I could never really follow what it was I'm supposed to be doing or find out how to accomplish it. There were many nuances and storylines, and then watching the various resource levels as you're out on your voyages in that dark, sunless sea. I finally had to just stop, and my son says he'll come over and play it with me. Together we might help me learn how to appreciate it a little bit more. So I think I picked up several skills there as far as learning about complexities and levels in games and keeping track of these various resources and things that are going on. I have a long ways to go there. Next, I'd like to talk about Heroes of Might and Magic. I like this game a lot because I get to play it with my children remotely. We're all living in different cities, but we just get online and network and bring up Discord, and so we can chat. It's one of those slap fight games, turn-based play. Go out, build armies, build cities, gather resources, prepare for coming battles, and golly, I'm having a good time with that. Again, learning strategy, resource management, character management. Good skills, really good skills. And as an adult, as a grandpa who has a business and lots of children and things to manage, I don't know. It seems like there's a lot that's applicable here. Of course, I'm not playing the game to learn anything, but I am learning and I'm enjoying it. and can see applications in my real life. Finally, I've moved on to Stories Untold. What a great little game. Very simple. What I'm learning here is text-based play. Now this is interesting because when I bought my first computer back in maybe 80, 81, I bought a PC and two 5¼ floppy drives and loaded DOS on, with one disk, put in the word perfect disk in the other one, load it up. Then you got to put in a disk to save your material. I remember all of that. But I remember going to the bookstore and finding a game for my computer. I was so excited. I brought it home and I put it in. It was an adventure game. And all that came up on the screen when I loaded it was, "You are in a dungeon." And I'm like, what the heck? I was expecting, for some reason, graphics, even though my monitor couldn't even do graphics. But it was a text-based game, I guess. I'm supposed to type in, look around, or whatever. And anyway, I didn't have any patience for that at all, and that was the end of that game. Well, here I am 35 years later, and I'm playing Stories Untold, and it uses minimal graphics very cleverly, and that have my attention. It's kind of a spooky game, kind of creepy, kind of a thriller. A lot of text-based play, which I'm still very bad at. I'll be putting out a video or two as you can watch me try to figure out what I'm doing and what to type in, because I can't figure out the right commands, to type in. And I suppose I'll learn a lot here and be a lot better when I get done with it. I'm enjoying it thoroughly. Anyway, that's what I've been up to as the Grandpa Gamer. And I'm having a good time and having fun catching up after all these years of watching. I'm actually playing and having a good time. Thanks for listening. If you like my channel, go ahead and subscribe. We'll talk to y'all later.